Native American tribes had unique cultures and traditions. There were over 200 tribes with different languages. Some tribes became famous for defending their people and lands. Their strength and courage made them legends. One of these tribes that truly stand out was the Comanche. The Comanche, called the Lords of the Plains, were one of the strongest Native American tribes. They ruled the southern plains with great skill and made settlers and other tribes afraid of them. Their power came from three things: their skill with horses, their fearless fighting, and their ability to resist outside forces. The Comanche were amazing riders. They were among the first tribes to use horses, learning this from the Spanish. They quickly became the best riders of their time. They could ride fast and shoot arrows with great aim. They even used their horses as shields during fights, which made them very hard to beat. Their skill with horses helped them hunt, travel, and fight better than anyone else. In battle, the Comanche were ruthless. They attacked settlers and other tribes without warning. Their raids were fast and frightening. They took horses, supplies, and captives, leaving destruction behind. Their speed and ability to disappear made them dangerous warriors. Some compared their bravery to ancient Spartans. The Comanche also fought hard to keep their land. They stopped Spanish expansion from the south and limited French influence from the east. When American settlers tried to move west, the Comanche fought back fiercely. Their land, called Comancheria, stayed under their control for a long time. Their strength slowed down settlers and protected their way of life. The Apache were known as some of the toughest fighters in history. They lived in the deserts and mountains of the American Southwest. The land was harsh, but they learned how to survive and use it to their advantage. No one knew the land like they did. The Apache could move through rocky mountains and wide deserts without being seen. They used the land to hide and escape. This gave them an edge over their enemies. They knew how to find food and water in places others could not. The tough conditions only made them stronger and smarter. When it came to battle, the Apache were clever and fast. They used surprise attacks and ambushes to catch their enemies off guard. They would strike quickly and then disappear before anyone could fight back. This style of fighting, called guerrilla warfare, made them very dangerous. Even armies with more weapons could not easily defeat them. One of the most famous Apache leaders was Geronimo. He was born in 1829 and became a symbol of the Apache's fight for freedom. Geronimo was brave and smart. He led his people through many battles, fighting against both Mexican and American forces. He never gave up, always standing strong for his people and their way of life. The Lakota Sioux were known as the defenders of the Northern Plains. They were one of the strongest Native American tribes in history. Their culture was built around bravery and fighting skills. Warriors were highly respected because they protected their people and land. Being a warrior was a big part of their way of life, and it showed their courage and strength. The Lakota Sioux had powerful leaders who helped guide them during hard times. Sitting Bull was one of their most respected leaders. He was not just a chief, but also a holy man. He brought tribes together and inspired them to fight for their freedom and land. Another famous leader was Crazy Horse. He was a brave warrior and a smart fighter. He knew how to lead his people in battle and win, even when the odds were against them. Both Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse played important roles in protecting their tribe. One of their most famous victories was the Battle of the Little Bighorn in 1876. This battle is also called Custer's Last Stand. The Lakota, along with their allies, fought against U.S. troops led by General Custer. With Sitting Bull's guidance and Crazy Horse's battle strategies, they defeated the soldiers. This victory shocked the United States and showed the strength of the Lakota Sioux. The Cheyenne were known as fierce warriors who never gave up when it came to protecting their people and land. They built their strength through well-organized warrior groups, smart battle plans, and strong efforts to fight against U.S. expansion. The Cheyenne formed warrior groups to keep their tribes safe and strong. One of the most famous groups was the Dog Soldiers. These warriors were leaders who protected their people in times of war and helped guide hunts. The Dog Soldiers were known for their bravery and refusal to back down in battle. They were willing to fight to the last man to defend their land and their way of life. This made them both respected and feared by others. The Cheyenne were also known for their smart battle tactics. They planned carefully and often used surprise attacks to catch their enemies off guard. They were skilled at ambushing their opponents and disappearing before they could be caught. Their deep understanding of the land gave them an advantage, allowing them to move quickly and strike effectively. These skills made them one of the strongest Native American tribes in warfare. The Cheyenne also stood firm against the expansion of the United States. They fought in many battles to protect their land from being taken. One of their most famous moments was the Northern Cheyenne Exodus. This was led by chiefs Morning Star, also called Dull Knife and Little Wolf. The Cheyenne were forced to leave their land and move to a reservation, but they fought to return to their home in Montana. Their journey showed incredible bravery and a refusal to give up. Kiowa were a nomadic tribe that lived on the Great Plains. They were known for their long raids, brave warriors, and strong alliances. Their skills and courage made them one of the most powerful tribes in their time. The Kiowa were expert raiders. They traveled far to raid settlements and other tribes, sometimes even going as far as Mexico. These raids helped them get horses, supplies, and captives. Raiding was not just about survival. It was also a way to show their bravery and earn respect. Their ability to travel great distances and raid successfully showed how determined and skilled they were. The Kiowa had special warrior groups that protected their people and passed on their traditions. These groups were very important in their culture. One of the most respected groups was the Koitsenko, also called the Principal Dogs. This group was made up of the 10 bravest warriors in the tribe. They were chosen for their courage and skill in battle. Being part of a warrior group was a great honor and showed a person's strength and leadership. The Kiowa were also good at forming alliances. They worked closely with the Comanche in the late 1700s. Together, they controlled large areas of land and became a strong force on the plains. They also teamed up with the Plains Apache. But the Kiowa had their share of conflicts too. They fought tribes like the Cheyenne and Arapaho before later making peace and sometimes even working with them. The Iroquois Confederacy, also known as the Haudenosaunee, was a powerful alliance. It brought together 6 nations: the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, Seneca, and later the Tuscarora. They had a smart political system, a strong military, and a lasting impact on American history. The Iroquois built a political system that was far ahead of its time. They created a confederation where each nation had its own leaders but came together in a grand council. This council made decisions for the entire confederacy. Their great law of peace guided this system. It focused on unity and listening to every voice. By working together, they remained strong while allowing each nation to keep its independence. The Iroquois were also skilled in battle. They were strategic and used the land to their advantage. Their military power helped them expand their influence and control important regions. They planned their attacks carefully and fought with precision. Their strength in warfare made them respected and feared by others. What makes the Iroquois even more impressive is their influence on American history. Leaders like Benjamin Franklin studied their system of governance. The way they worked together inspired parts of the U.S. Constitution. In 1988, the U.S. Congress officially recognized the role of the Iroquois Confederacy in shaping American democracy. The Seminole people are famous for their strong fight against U.S. forces during the Seminole Wars. They used their deep knowledge of Florida's swamps, their bravery, and their determination to protect their way of life. Their story is one of courage and strength. The Seminoles lived in the thick swamps of Florida. These swamps were hard for outsiders to move through, but the Seminoles knew them well. They used the land to their advantage in battles. They would strike suddenly and disappear into the wilderness before their enemies could react. This made them very hard to catch or defeat. Their use of the land gave them a big advantage. The Seminole Wars lasted for over 40 years, from 1817 to 1858. During this time, the Seminoles fought hard to keep their land. They used surprise attacks and small raids to weaken their enemies. These tactics, called guerrilla warfare, worked well against the larger and better armed U.S. forces. The Seminoles refused to give up, even when the battles became long and difficult. What makes the Seminoles truly unique is their legacy. Unlike many other tribes, they were never fully conquered. A group of Seminoles, led by Apache, also called Sam Jones, stayed hidden in the Everglades. They refused to surrender or leave Florida. Today, their descendants still live in Florida, keeping their history alive. Thanks for watching today, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more of that history crack.